All right, how's it going? I do have a video I want to do before we get into Bible study. I'm going to show you one that I told you I was going to break down Revelation and show you how it comes in waves, how it comes in layers. Um, Antichrist and or Great Tribulation. So every time the Antichrist is in play throughout Revelation, every time the church is sealed, every time the church is removed, what people call a rapture. There is no pre-trib rapture. Um, the word haparizo or snatching away is in the Bible. The church is removed. It's just not before the Antichrist does his wrath upon the church, or what we call, I better use the words, you know, choose these words properly, before the Antichrist performs his tribulation to the church. God's wrath does not come to the church. God's wrath is to the goat world. Satan's Antichrist great tribulation are to the sheep. That takes place after the abomination that causes desolation, right afterwards. Then there's wrath of God. There's judgment day. That's not the wrath of God. That would judgment day would be the great white throne judgment. We'll say judgment day God, when God is judging the goats. And I've got gray for the gray area, things that are not literal, but they're symbolic. Church crying out, how long must we wait? And so with me color coding it, okay, I'm going to go all through Revelation. With me color coding it, you're going to see how Revelation is not written in order and how the church is always there, how there's no way there's this pre-tribulation rapture. So that's what that's all going to be about. So today we're still in Daniel 5. Then Daniel was brought in before the king, and the king spake and said unto Daniel, Art thou Daniel, which art of the children of captivity of Judah, whom the king my father Nebuchadnezzar brought out of Jewry? I have even heard of thee that the spirit of the gods is in thee, and that light and understanding and excellent wisdom is found in thee. And now the wise men, the astrologers, have been brought in before me, that they should read this writing and make known unto me the interpretation thereof, but they could not show me the interpretation of the thing. And I have heard of thee that thou can make these interpretations. Now, if you can read the writing and make known to me the interpretation, you will be clothed in scarlet and have a chain of gold around your neck, and shall be third ruler in the kingdom. Sound familiar? Then Daniel answered and said before the king, Let thy gifts be to thyself, and give thy rewards to another. Yet I will read the writing unto the king and make known to you, or it says to him, talking to him in the third person, like he's not there, talk and make known to you the interpretation. O thou king, the Most High God gave Nebuchadnezzar thy father a kingdom, and majesty, and glory, and honor. Semicolon. We'll get to the rest tomorrow. Stay tuned. Now we're in Luke. For I say unto you that unto every one which have shall be given, and from them that have not, even that he hath shall be taken away from him. And we went over this yesterday. It's the same as this parable in the sower and seeds. In other words, some goats are seemingly there for a little while, but then they fade away. Sometimes I'm wondering if I witnessed that through a lot of people that I know. They can't come out of the world. They don't even want to hear from me. They don't understand that God doesn't love everybody. They don't understand there's no free will. They don't understand it. They've been taught a certain thing their whole life. See, when sheep hear the truth, they take right to it. I've noticed that. Various people on my YouTube channels, people from all over the world are here. Not high in numbers, but they're here. So, and not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom, and all those kind of things. Jesus will say, I never knew you. So, but what little truth you might have had or thought you had, even that'll be removed. And you'll be just as pagan as the rest of them. And you'll be exposed as much as the way you live your life. But those enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither, and I will slay them before me. And when he had thus spoken, he went before, ascending up into Jerusalem. And it came to pass, I'm going to go ahead and read all of this in the New Living. I think we will be able to decipher anything that is incorrect. Oops, got the wrong one. Oh, it's the parable. Sorry. Yes, the king replied, to those who use well, they are given, even more will be given. But from those who do nothing, even what little they have will be taken away. And as for these enemies of mine who didn't want me to be their king, bring them in and execute them right here in front of me. Which, speaking of Judgment Day, after telling this story, Jesus went on to Jerusalem, walking ahead of his disciples, and he came into the towns of Bethpage and Bethany on the Mount of Olives, that he set his two disciples ahead. Go into the village over there, he told them. As you enter it, you will see a young donkey tied that no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks, why are you untying that colt? Just say, the Lord needs it. So you can see how perfectly scripted the Lord's world is. There is no free will. There is nothing by chance. It wasn't random that one of the apostles plotted to kill Jesus. Jesus had to die. Nothing is left to chance. Nothing is left to man's free will. The disciples simply replied, the Lord needs it. So they brought the colt to Jesus and threw their garments over it for him to ride on. As he rode along, the crowds spread out their garments on the road ahead of them. When he reached the place where the road started down the Mount of Olives, all of his followers began to shout and sing as they walked along, praising God for all the wonderful miracles they had seen. As they were loosening the colt, the owners thereof said unto them, why loose ye colt? And they said, the Lord hath need of him. And they brought him to Jesus, and they cast their garments upon him, and they set Jesus thereon, and he went as they spread their clothes in the way. And when he was coming nigh unto the descent of the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of the disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for the mighty works that they had seen. The whole multitude of the disciples. All right, thank you very much. Stay tuned. I'll be putting that very detailed Revelation Bible study, color-coded key that I'll be working on I'll be putting that on both my channels, the Bible study channel and my regular YouTube channel. All right, love y'all.